It was almost 70 years ago, but Aaron Elster remembers when the Germans invaded Poland and occupied Sokolow, his hometown.
One of the first things I remember as a 6-, 7-year-old is burning the synagogues, grabbing old people with beards and shear their beards off and take pictures of them to humiliate them. The chief rabbi was stabbed on the marketplace.
Elster and his family lived in the Sokolow ghetto until 1942, when the Nazis began mass executions.
The first thing that the Einsatzgruppen, or this enforcement group, did is kill. Their job was to kill communist government officials, priests, and Jewish men. And then the killings were enlarged. And they started killing men, women, and children, and they chased them out to ravines. And, a dozen soldiers would line up and shoot them.
Elster's parents and his sister Sarah died in the Holocaust. After the war, Elster came to the United States. The horrors he witnessed are detailed in the Illinois Holocaust Museum in Skokie, Illinois. For dozens of Chicago area police recruits, the museum is also a classroom.
The slaughter of the Polish.
In a 2-day program called the Law Enforcement and Democracy Initiative, the museum is teaching future police officers to understand hate crimes. Shakima Teague recently joined the Chicago Police Department and is taking part in the museum program. She says her visit to the museum has been an eye-opening experience.
It's kind of saddening and disheartening because, it's a lot that I'm learning right now that I didn't know about the Holocaust.
Museum Director Richard Hershot says the initiative is teaching recruits that innocent people need protection.
We want them to understand that these millions of innocents had nowhere to turn, that the protections of a democratic society were no longer available to them, that the role of police as protector and guardian of safety collapsed.
The recruits are also learning about recent cases where police failed to protect citizens.
It happened in the 30s and the 40s, but then you have to think it also just recently happened in the 90s as far as Rwanda and overseas with Saddam Hussein. The whole killing of people is just, I think it's possible. It probably can happen again. In the United States, I doubt it, but other countries, yeah, I think it can happen.
Aaron Elster now serves on the museum board and gives lectures during the 2-day program. He hopes that people never experience another Holocaust. He says recruits like Teague have a role to play.
We train them to say, hey, we're all human beings, and you must make choices. And in your work, in your daily activities, hopefully you will always make the right choice.
The recruits are also learning about protecting the museum. The June attack on the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C., and the death of security officer Stephen Johns are an indication that anti-Semitism still exists, more than 60 years after the defeat of Nazi Germany. Kane Faribault, VOA News, Skokie, Illinois.